ABC News. Around the world and into your home. The stories that touch your life. This is 2020 with Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, Sam Donaldson, Connie Chung, Charles Gibson, and Hugh Downs. Plus, the last American to perform in Cuba returns to Havana in triumph. Byron Janis, who played the very night before Fidel Castro took over the country, now invited back.
I do not play for governments. I play for people.
Barbara Walters, with the passion of a remarkable man you've met here once before. Byron Janis. Those stories tonight, June 4th, 1999.
This spring, something extraordinary happened. An entire U.S. baseball team and dozens of American pop, jazz, and classical musicians were invited to Cuba to perform. The first of these so-called ambassadors had a very special reason for wanting to go to Cuba. He is a world-famous classical pianist who has had to overcome tremendous obstacles to play as exquisitely as he does. He is a friend of mine, but you may also remember him. Last April, I brought you the remarkable story of Byron Janis, who stunned audiences 40 years ago to become one of America's greatest concert artists. In the midst of a brilliant career, he was struck by a crippling form of arthritis, which threatened to silence his hands forever. How many of your fingers were affected by the arthritis?
All of them.
All of them? And your wrists?
Wrists. Eventually it spread to all of them.
Byron, how did you continue to perform? You willed yourself to perform.
Passion and perseverance.
That will to succeed, plus new medical treatment for his arthritis, enabled Byron Janis to begin recording and performing once again.
Welcome to Cuba.
Thank you very much.
Just last March, he and his wife, Maria, traveled to Havana, Cuba, where Byron played 2 concerts after an absence of 42 years. It was an historic return for Byron, who had been the last American artist to perform in Cuba. That concert had taken place the very night before Fidel Castro took over the country.
On December 31st, 1958, I played a recital in Santiago de Cuba, and in the square in front of the concert hall were at least 100 soldiers with submachine guns. I said, what is all this about? And they said, oh, we're waiting for Castro. He's going to come any day. When I left from Havana to New York, it was the last plane out of Cuba.
As we know, after Castro's revolution, the U.S. quickly closed the doors on Cuba, and that included severe restrictions on any cultural exchanges between the two countries. But during the past year, these restrictions seemed to be easing. Byron Janis was invited to return to Cuba by Alicia Pereira Maza, president of the Cuban Institute of Music. As a teenager, she had attended Janis's last concert in Havana.
The privilege of hearing Byron Janis play was an unforgettable event. We are deeply touched to have him in our country again.
Byron Janis performed in the 17th century Basilica of St. Francis in the heart of old Havana. He hopes most of all that his concerts will provide a bridge between two countries which have been separated for too long.
I hope when I walk out on the stage, there will be a feeling of, yes, let's exchange Cuban classical artists for American. I do not play for governments. I play for people. And music transcends all politics. It's a way to put people together.
Nice. Cuba's best-known music critic called Byron Janis' playing magical and said neither age nor arthritis had stopped him. Another thing you may be interested to know, Byron Janis has just been named director of a new music festival which will take place in Tacoma, Washington next summer. A wonderful artist. We'll be right back.